What's up, tubers? T.O. here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight. We are still doing some lake breakdowns. In fact, we're going back to Lake Ray Roberts again for the offshore stuff. If you guys missed the last one, make sure to go out there, check out the lake breakdown playlist that we have out there on our channel. That'll take you to not only the Ray Roberts channel, but pretty much all the other lakes that we have out there. I think I'm up to like 45 something lakes, and I continue to add more. Finishing up Lake Conroe as we speak. So hopefully I'll have that one done today and out on the site pretty soon so you guys can check it out. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this. Lake Ray Roberts, offshore. This will be our second episode. Let's get into it. Let's see what we can find. Jumping on into this thing, if you missed the last Lake Ray Roberts video, I've actually deleted the waypoints because I've been breaking down so many lakes I can only hold so many waypoints on my phone. But we started down here at the dam and we worked our way all the way up here to the northeast side and back down around this point right here to where this little fish icon is. So that's where we're going to start at today, and then we're going to keep working our way back to the west side, and then we're going to go back down south by the dam. So we'll see how much we can get done today. And then we'll just keep moving forward and keep posting these videos until we finish out the lake. So let's talk about this first spot that's up here. In fact, before I do that, let me zoom out and show you guys where I'm at. So I'm going in this major arm right here, or this arm. So we're going to start over here on this side, and again, we're just going to work our way around. So a couple things I like here. I really like how this has got a nice flat top. If you notice, it's a real nice flat top with a nice little break there right off the side. You've also got another one right here, not as obvious, but you've got a nice little break there, 5 feet to 18, 19 foot, somewhere in there. So those two spots in there look like they could have some potential for sure. Also, the backside of that island being close to that creek bed, you definitely want to look at that. And we'll talk about that other side here in a minute. Let's keep going up this side. On this side, again, watching where that creek bed is, this island looks really good. Nice big flat top. But if you get over here on the back side of it, it's got some pretty good sharp drops that are really close to this creek channel. So I could see the back side of that island having some potential. Coming off this island, this point here, underwater point, about 13 foot on top, looks pretty good. Got a real nice break that comes off of it. Again, a creek channel right out there off the tip of it, which is always a huge plus when you're talking offshore stuff. So we get a little bit further back in here. Got one more in here. There might be one more, but I think this is it. But again, following that creek bed, it swings around this little point that's right here. It swings around it, and you can tell that this is super shallow, 4 or 5 foot, and then it all of a sudden makes a big drop in that area. So definitely looking there around those creek beds. Now I'm going to switch over. I'm going to come back down this bank line since we already covered the other side. So the next thing I found was back up in here. Again, just really trying to pay attention to where these creek beds are and seeing if they come close to any kind of points or anything. And if they do, then that's where we're going to want to fish. So right in here off this point where that break is, that looks really, really good. Let's zoom back. There's a marker that someone put here as well, fishing diving hotspot. Says that there's a hump there. Doesn't show that there's a hump there on Navionics, but definitely go and check that out. Another good point right here. Again, guys, looking at this creek bed, right? This creek bed's pretty far out there, but still fairly close to these points. This is a really nice underwater point here with a good ledge off the northern side of it. Also moving down here, another good sharp ledge. This looks like a deep hole or something. It goes down to 15 feet, and everything else around this little flat in here is 7 to 8 feet, but almost maybe like an old pond dam possibly right in here. So I would definitely go look right where I put that marker at. Also over in here, you've got another point with some breaks you can see here. And again, guys, I have all these things marked for you guys out on the site, simplisticfishing.com. You can either get the digital file, which means you download it and put it on a card yourself, or you can just buy the card and tell me what unit you're using, and I'll just ship them over to you, and you can import them in. So you can have all this stuff, plus all the Google Earth waypoint stuff that we talked about in the previous videos. So really good stuff. It's going to change the way you fish. Go check it out. So moving over here, we've also got a little hump right in here, 12 foot at the top, and then real good breaks off all the sides of it. And if you've ever gone out and fished offshore a lot, you will know that humps, especially humps if they have rock on them, are absolute dynamite. So go out and take a look at these humps, see if you can locate anything on that. And then coming off the edge of this island, You got a nice little flat feeding table that comes off right over here on the side, and then it has a break. So I would definitely check this side of the island, especially being closer to the creek beds. But don't forget to look in these saddles, especially in the wintertime when they need to get a little bit deeper. Sometimes you can find them back here in the saddles. So, anyways, a couple of good spots right there to take a look at. Moving on down, huge flat way out here, gigantic flat. But if you get out off the edge of it, right in here, you're going to notice there's some submerged culverts down here. There's some creek beds, and then there's a road bed out here too. And if you look really closely, this is like a flat that the point of it comes all the way out here, and then it finally starts to taper off. So I put the mark right there. I'm thinking anywhere around this road bed off this tip is probably going to be a really good spot to look. And they're going to migrate up and down that road bed, so it's really going to depend on what depth the bait is at, depending on where they're going to be at on that road bed. All right, so we're going to move back over here. We're going to come down. We got out of that little cove, so now we're going to come back and we're going to look at this. This is the next thing that I found. It's really just a submerged culvert down here. Could be a submerged bridge as well. Can't really tell, but the roadbed being there and being the location that's at fairly close to these flats, I can see that having some potential. And then let's look up here. So now we're going to go up here in this arm. Now this arm didn't have as much to offer me as the other ones did, but as I zoom in here, I did see this one spot in here that I really liked, and you'll see why. You got a creek channel here. You got a nice, kind of like a little bit of a slope going on there, but then a real good ledge right here, right off the edge. So you got 5 foot up here, probably got some timber or something maybe to flip around, and then you got a really nice ledge going on right in that area. So I marked that one for you. The rest of it gets pretty shallow back in there. So let's zoom back out, and let's go back out here to the main lake side. So we get out in here. There, I saw a couple of these things. I saw gravel pits, so maybe just go check those out. I didn't mark them because I can't really validate them. I can't see them on Google Earth, and I can't really tell if maybe someone's just putting it there or if it's real. But if you got avionics, you definitely want to go check out those gravel pits. Moving over here, you've also got a nice little hump that's over here too, so I marked it for you. 9 foot on the top of that hump, and if you go just a little bit of ways out, you're in 30 to 40 foot of water. So I could see that one being a good one. You've also got a couple different piles that are here. I marked this one. This one's pretty far out there. Not sure you want to fish that deep, but this one, 30 foot's not too bad. So you can definitely go check that one out. All right. So I'm going to come over here, excuse me, come over here and come around Wolf Island. And as I get up in here, just a couple things that were up here. One, you'll see this little point here. It says that there's a pile that's in here. So go check that out and see if there is a brush pile there, what it is there, but definitely go check that out. You've also got another one that's over here. It says it's a crappie spot. I didn't mark this one, but if you're over here scanning, get on the outside edge of this flat and see what you can find on the outside, especially where you see these little points and things where they make little points. Those can always be pretty good areas to look at. All right, so I'm going to move back in here. We're going to swing back to the left side. We got some flooded timber back in here as well. Real good creek channel again. Real good breaks. This one looks good. Pretty well defined, but I liked this little point here. It makes a pretty good little point. Has a nice flat top on it, 5 foot, drops off by the creek bed. I really like a lot of spots back in there, but I went ahead and marked that spot for you guys so you have a good place to start. And then back here, kind of the same thing. Looking at these creek beds, seeing what they're doing to the contour lines, right here is going to be a primo spot off the edge of that little point right there, 9 foot to about 30 foot. You've also got a good spot over here as well, with some really good breaks coming off the edge of that point. Just really anywhere around that point. If you look at it from out here, you can't tell that that's really a good spot. But if you zoomed in just a little bit, you'd realize that, hey, that spot's got some pretty good potential. So moving back down, going to look out here. We've got another spot that was out here. I think they said there was a brush pile here, I believe. Let's look and see what it says. Yeah, said there was a brush pile there, so I went ahead and marked that for you guys. Again, I can't validate them when they're that far out, but if they're there, I'd say at least go scan it. And it's really close to that creek bed, so that would make sense. So moving on down to show you guys where I'm at. Covered all this up here. We're back in this little, we're going into these little pockets now. So getting in the back of these pockets, this one is actually pretty deep, 18, 20 foot deep out here. And then it gets up on this little flat top. There's a little island out here as well. So right in there could be really good. Also over here off the point, you guys know, you've heard me talk about fishing points all the time. everybody's heard if you like to fish, you know that points are the way to go. So go check out that point, especially on this side of the point, because the creek bed's more on this side. So kind of relate a little bit more to the creek bed's probably going to be more your primary area. All right, moving on down. This in here looked interesting to me only because it looks like it's got a really good turn in and a really good ledge just right there. So check it out. There might not be anything there at all. Sometimes these contours can look like there's something there and there's nothing, but it would definitely be worth going out and skating around. Obviously, come up here, fish around this road bed as well. It says this is a spawning flat, so if that is, you definitely want to look at these little turn-ins. There's one right there. There's one right here that I marked for you guys, little pond. That could be an old pond too, possibly. And then really just getting out here, fishing around this flat could be good during times of the year. And then if they're not up on the flat, then go out and look on the edges of them. So out here would be more the tip of that flat. I'm going to go on into this pocket, or cove, I guess I should say. And if you get way back here, I don't know if you can fish back here because this dotted line, I'm not sure what that dotted line is. Might not let you fish right in here, but you can definitely fish over here to the side of it. But look at these good breaks that are right here. So right in that area, it looks like it has some pretty good potential for sure. You got more spawning going on back in there. I went ahead and marked these. These are the brush piles that are back here. Looks like we're in Johnson Branch. So you got a couple different brush piles back there marked for you guys. Also a little bit further back, we've got these little turns. So creek swings, whatever you want to call them, creek bends. Right here, you've got a really good one with a really good ledge. So go right in here, kind of set up out here and fish around that ledge. You're probably going to be able to find some fish there. You're going to find the same thing up here as well. You've got a little underwater point that comes out. There's just a little bitty ledge there, but it's got a creek channel there that actually intersects with another one. So that could have potential as well. And then we're going to move on down. We've got more piles here. So I went ahead and marked that one for you guys. And then we've got more piles that are out here. I marked all of them for you guys. Now, on those piles, you'll see that I have them marked here, but I've also gone out and actually validated the actual waypoints for you guys. So there was a Corps of Engineers that had put out some brush piles and Ray Roberts, and there was also someone else, like Friends and Family of something. I can't remember what it was, but they had put some out there too. I think there were some odd like 30 something brush piles that I added out there for you guys on the offshore hotspots. So they're all out there. All the community brush piles are out there, plus all of these spots that I'm going over with you guys today. All right, so moving down here, we've got more of those brush piles. Again, you can see them all marked here. I mean, they are everywhere. So I marked all of those for you guys. Again, we'll have them all out there for us. Got another pile that's back here as well. This one looked pretty good. It's right here off the edge of this point. So that one had some potential for sure. Also, these shallow areas where you get these flat tops on these points, fall time, real good time to be going up here and checking out these little flat tops and see what you can find. But right in there, mark that for you. You got some pretty good road beds in there too you can check out. And then moving on down, I'm going to show you guys where I'm at here. We're about almost down to the main lake. Moving on down through here. I don't know if I talked about that one or not. There's that shallow top. Moving on down here, we kind of have the same thing, right? We've got the road beds. So you can check out the road beds, but it got a little underwater point going on here with some breaks that are out there by that road bed and some flooded timber. So you got a lot of good things going on right in that area. Moving down here, more flooded timber, but again, another one of those points that come out with some pretty good break on them, close to a road bed. You got road beds and some rock and stuff up in here off this little shallow area. And if you come out, you got ledges out here too. So you got a nice little ridge line going on right over here and a real good drop off the back side of it. So check all those out. Really like that area. You just got to be careful. Obviously, it says it's rocky, so just be really careful when you're over there in that area. Let's keep moving. We came around the point there. Let's keep moving and see how much more we can get done. We'll probably go for about 5 more minutes and then we'll wrap up this video. And then again, we'll just keep pumping these out until we get this thing done. So moving back here, we've got some more of these brush piles that are all marked. Again, got them all marked for you. These are all brush piles. Everything you see here is a brush pile. Don't see too much going on from a contour perspective in those areas. But back in here, I kind of like this. So you got another brush pile that's probably right in here as well. But right here, you've got a little point that comes out pretty soft little point that comes out, and then actually, has some pretty good drop there. You got some pretty good drop over here as well, coming off of this point. So I really like that too. Sorry for the notifications. I thought I'd turn that off. Also up here, coming up here, we got a couple more piles, and you've got a road bed as well. So check out both of those. Those look good. From a contour perspective, they look pretty good as well. They're coming off those points. They look pretty good. This one looks really good. This isn't a brush pile. It's just a spot I marked for you guys. But off this island, you've got a road bed that comes out, makes a junction there. So you know you probably got some rock or debris or something off the edge of this island. And then you've also got a break that comes out that takes you out to that creek bed. So all of those things together make that look like it could be a pretty good spot for you guys. We've also got a couple more culverts back here to check out around those road beds. 15, 16 foot of water. That's like primo for fishing those road beds. Also over in here, if we come off of this big flat, it comes way out here, makes a little point out here, got a little saddle with a road bed again, and then a nice little hump that's out here too, in about 10 foot of water, with creek channels nearby, and all that stuff with the road bed. So check that one out. Also come over here, another good point that comes out. So you want to look up here. If they're not up here feeding, they could be down here, or they could be all the way out here on this brush pile that's way out here off the edge. So look at the marker first maybe, and then work your way in and see if you can locate it. Really, it's going to be all about the bait. And then moving up here, got more creek beds. This creek bed swings in here and makes a real good turn. So you can see here, it makes a real good ledge right here. And I'm not sure what's going on in that area, but I like that whole area, the way it sets up. You've also got some pretty good areas like right here. This looks good right off the edge of this point. Mark that one for you guys. Up in here, got another good ledge, this big, huge flat that's up here. And then right around that flat, you start seeing these little edges. So you just find the edges of those flats and then fish those. So right in here will be a really good spot to go look at. And then right here, we've also got another rock pile coming off the edge of this point. So 5 to 6 foot, the rock pile off the edge of it's probably about 10, 12 foot. And then it breaks off into another little feeding table before it finally breaks off into the creek channel. So that'd be a good spot to look there. Let's go ahead and finish right there. We'll start right here on this marker, 504, for our next one. And hopefully that is helping you guys out, putting you on some fish, or at least helping you understand how to read the maps and know where to go look for fish. I'm telling you guys, this is really going to help you guys out. If you go get the cards from simplisticfishing.com and get these points on there, you can basically just go out and do your offshore fishing and then figure it out, whatever it is that you found, whether it be a point or a secondary point or a ledge or whatever it is. Once you find that, I've got all those different types of spots marked, so you can just narrow it down to just that type of spot, that type of pattern, and then that will change everything. Once you get a pattern going, you'll start to realize you're starting to catch a lot more fish when you start focusing on the patterns. So anyways, guys, hope that's helping you guys out. I hope you're out there being able to fish. And number one, I hope you catch your PB. So anyway, take it easy. Until next time, cheers.